TVP is underwritten by SEFQ, G&D Integrated, Heritage Bank, Lincoln Office, Mongie Crouch and Mahoney Insurance, and OSF St. Francis Medical Center.
The Knapp Center in Des Moines, Iowa, home to the Drake Bulldogs, and tonight's Missouri Valley matchup between the Bradley Braves and Knapp Center. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WTVP's presentation of Bradley University basketball. The first Bradley men's basketball game on these airwaves in nearly 3 decades. Glad you're alongside Kirk Fisher along with former Bradley star Chad Klein. And Chad, when you break down this game, you're seeing two teams that have some of the most improved players in the league. Of course, we'll start with Bradley. Will Franklin has really stepped up his game this season.
Yeah, both these teams have similar personnel, but they have different strengths. For Bradley, it's the three-point brigade. The leader of that brigade, Will Franklin. He comes in the MVC scoring 17 points a game. He shoots proficiently from three. He can penetrate to the basket, and on the defensive side, he's a great defender.
Now, Jeremy Crouch is hurt, so he's not playing tonight for Bradley, so that might mean that the most improved player in the league is A.J. Calvin in the Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely Will Franklin and A.J. Calvin are definitely at their current clip to be strong candidates for most improved player. A.J. is a great rebounder. He gets a lot of jump around the basket. Last year, he was scoring 10 points a game. He's basically doubled that average. He also has extended his range. He used to be just only good around the basket. Now he's actually good from 15 to 17 feet.
Bradley trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Drake trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Stay tuned. This is the opening tip. Bradley and Drake up next here on Channel 4.
As a SEFQ member, you're making a difference. Because your money stays right here, helping your neighbors and supporting your community.
Support for Bradley basketball comes from Mongie Crouch and Mahoney Insurance. Safe drivers 55 and over may qualify for discounts from auto owners, providing no-problem life, home, car, and business protection. Information on how to reduce your premiums and possibly increase your coverage is available from Mongie Crouch and Mahoney Insurance in Pekin.
Aloha, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join us as our search for America's hidden treasures takes us to the only state completely surrounded by water.
Wow. Oh, gosh. I've got goose skins.
Next time from Honolulu, Hawaii on Antiques Roadshow.
Keys to the game, too. I'll lead you into that then, because we'll have time.
He doesn't even have the camera.
Welcome back to Des Moines, Iowa at the Knapp Center. Bradley and Drake here on WTVP Channel 47. Let's take a look at the starting fives for tonight's Missouri Valley Conference matchup. The Braves go with J.J. Twy, Daniel Ruffin, Zach Andrews, Matt Sally, and Will Franklin. So the Braves getting their two forwards in the starting five, Zach Andrews and Matt Sally. It's rare that we see them on the floor at the same time, but they both start tonight. Bradley starting with three guards instead of their typical four. Drake counters with the same five that they've really started all year. Al Stewart and Nick Grant in the backcourt, Clayton Corver, A.J. Calvin, and Alou Keita. The Braves coached by Jim Les in his fifth season at Bradley, 10-6 this year. The Braves are 1-3 overall, or 1-3 in the conference, and Les is 72-66 in his 5 years at Bradley. Drake coached by the veteran Tom Davis in his fifth year with the Bulldogs, 46 wins, 56 losses, but he's been doing this coaching thing now for 32 years. 590 career victories, 345 losses. He is 5-3 all-time against Bradley since becoming the Drake head coach 5 years ago. Joined tonight by Chad Klein, the former Bradley star from the mid-90s, played on that 1996 Missouri Valley Conference championship team. What do you think are the keys to tonight's game, Chad?
I think the important thing for Bradley tonight is to handle the pressure. Drake's going to throw a lot of different presses at him, a lot of different types of zone press, traps, and I think the key to that is to play under control, but at the same time play at enough tempo like we're used to. Secondly, we have got to be competitive on the boards. When we are out-rebounded by more than 6, we are 1-5. When that differential is under 6, we're 9-1. So the stats say it all. We just have to be competitive on the boards. We don't have to out-rebound them, just stick with them. Third, defense has to play 2 good halves. We've been outshot the last 6 games by our opponents. We've been able to play one half for a couple minutes here and there of good defense, but we just haven't been able to put it all together for a single game. And then finally, our bread and butter has been our defense create offense. Ruffin taking steals in the open court, guarding the man bringing it up the floor. Will Franklin getting in the passing lanes. J.J. Twy getting in the passing lanes.
Bradley leads the all-time series 71-50. These are two of the oldest rivals in the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two schools, including the last 3 here at the Knapp Center. Steve Gordon, Terry Anderson, Mike Litzelfeiner are the officials for this Missouri Valley Conference game, and Bradley controls the opening tip. Daniel Ruffin goes back and gets, and we're glad you're alongside for Bradley and Drake here live television here at WTVP Channel 47.
You mentioned it in the opening that tonight Coach Les is going with Sally and Andrews tonight. He's had problems getting them in there and playing well together, but tonight he's trying something different.
Here's A.J. Calvin. We talked about him at the top of the broadcast. One of the most improved players in the Missouri Valley Conference, averaging better than 17 a game. That's him with the basketball, working on Sally. His 12-footer's in.
Good defense by Sally. It's just a tough shot made by Calvin.
The Braves quickly back down the floor. Will Franklin, the first one down, he shoots it in.
And that's exactly what we have to do tonight. We have to match tempo with tempo, but play under control.
The two highest scoring teams in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley averages just about 80 points a game. Drake at 77, so we're going to see some points. Clayton Corver to miss. The younger brother of Kyle Corver, the 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year from Crate. J.J. Twy shot's no good. It's out of bounds off of Twy. It's going to go to the Bulldogs.
I think you're going to see Drake try and get Corver into the game early tonight. He went 0 for 3 against Southern. Didn't really take a lot of shots. He's very capable. Again, a nice play by Calvin, just shooting up over the top of Sally.
And is into the ball game now for Drake. He replaces Clayton Corver, and we kind of jokingly think of Drake almost like a hockey team. Hockey team changes lines where they bring 2 or 3 players in at a time, and Drake is A lot of substitutions in the Tom Davis system.
Good defense.
Braves come away with a turnover. Now it's Ruffin in the front court. Here's Franklin, works the baseline, slips the pass into Andrews. His little jump hook is down.
Yeah, Andrews has been pressing as of late. It's very good to get him started early.
Braves now the early 2. We've played 90 seconds here at the Knapp Center in Des Moines. Drake is on a season-high 3-game losing streak. Had an 8-game winning streak earlier this year.
I think the Bulldogs will come out hungry tonight with that 3-game loss. Had a real strong non-conference schedule and played well, and now they just struggle in the conference getting started.
That's A.J. Calvin for 3. He's not really a three-point shooter, so if he starts shooting threes, if he starts feeling it, that's just another weapon, or another added weapon in his arsenal.
It is another added weapon, but you don't mind seeing him take that shot since it's not a part of his game.
An alternate possession. It's going to go to Drake off the tie-up and the loose ball. Now Clayton Korver is going to re-enter the game, and he sends Keita to the bench. Luke Keita is kind of a particular guy. You get a shot at him in the bench. 6'7", 260 pounds, starts the game, but he's only averaging about 15 minutes of game. So he starts, and then he doesn't come back in for a while.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's a big body, and they like to have him inside for rebounding, but I don't think he really fits well with the type of game that they play, getting up and down the floor.
Josh Young misfired there. Looked like he was going to take the 3. Wanted to drop the pass down to Korver, who was open. Korver now looking for the pass, though.
Yeah, he'd already turned it for the rebound. And
the Braves break that full court pressure. We're going to see it all night. Bulldogs, that's their calling card. They love the pressure, yeah. They love to get to the foul line. They love to rebound. Here's Sally. He penetrates and kicks out. That's why I thought about the 3. Now steps inside the arc, drives to the basket, laid it in, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
That's okay. It's a good aggressive move by JJ. He didn't have a wide open 3-point shot, so he makes a smart move and penetrates. Just unfortunately a little bit too far.
We're going to count the basket. We get another look at his penetration here.
Again, just another nice penetration. Just takes it maybe a step too far. Maybe pull up, take a 8-foot shot to try and take it to the hole.
Nick Grant was the one who took that charge. That's Grant's first shot of the game. It won't go down. Back to get it to Zach Andrews.
And to start, Bradley's doing real well on the defensive boards. It's just something they're going to keep up all game.
And now a steal. The quick hands of Grant. Stewart comes away with it. Back to Grant, and he's fouled by Daniel Ruffin.
Yeah, that's Grant's game. He leads the Valley in steals. He does a real nice job. He'll pick your pocket much like Daniel Ruffin does for Bradley. Should be a great matchup.
Yeah, those are the 2 best thieves in the Missouri Valley Conference. Grant leads the league in steals, and Ruffin is second in the league in steals. And this is our guy, Nick Grant, to the foul line.
Drake is averaging 8.6 free throw attempts at home. That's kind of down from what they started out the season. They're normally actually making more free throws than their opponents are shooting during the game. So they like to get to the free throw line, like we said earlier.
Grant, who's a 72% foul shooter, makes both of them. Drake back in front, 7-6. Now Franklin takes it all the way down and lays it up with the right hand off the glass.
A great decision. Kept it in his hand. Calvin didn't commit to him, so you take it all the way to the hole.
Franklin now 2 for 2 on 2 layups. He's got 4 of the Bradley 8s. Braves in a man-to-man defense. Stewart behind the back. Now 10 on the shot clock. Here's Josh Young. He's not afraid to pull the trigger on a 3, and he knocked it down.
Now this kid in high school, his junior and senior year, had averaged 35 and 36 points a game. I don't think there's many shots that he doesn't like.
And Franklin right back to the rack and laid it in. He's got 3 layups here in the first 5 minutes of this basketball game.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach Bisher before the game, and he said we just need to attack under control. If it's there, take it. If not, pull it out. We've had ample opportunities so far.
So we're tied at 10 and another turnover. Zach Andrews comes away with it. Ruffin gives it up to Sally. He thought about the jumper. Now he's going to take it from the top of the circle. He knocked down it to 3.
He has really come on in this last 5 or 6 games. He really struggled at the beginning getting used to Bradley, coming from a junior college transfer, but he's really picked up his game for us.
Just his 4th 3-point make of the season. He says he loves to pass the basketball, but there he couldn't pass up the shot.
That's hard to do when they drop off you like that.
Now it's Korver trying to post on Sally. And Sally blocked his shot and quickly gets ahead of Franklin. It's a foot race. Franklin and Young. Franklin down with a left hand. He's 4 of 4 with 4 layups here in the first 6 minutes of this basketball
And
game.
all started by Sally's great defense. He got a little separation from Corver and used his athleticism to get the block. Definitely a good start for Bradley.
Now Corver drives baseline. Cut off by Andrews. Tough shot.
That's okay. And that's really good defense. We stopped him on the baseline. You can't ask for better than that. He just made a tough shot.
Franklin again penetrates. Off the glass, his first miss. J.J. Twy tipped it in.
There's our favorite player, utility player. He does it all. Plays defense, gets boards, dives on loose balls. Just an absolutely necessary player for Bradley to have.
Now Twy is playing with a bandaged up left hand. A yet to be diagnosed injury that he suffered against Missouri State and Peoria earlier the week.
Yeah, again, we talked to Coach Bisher, and they heard it at Missouri State. Think he got his fingers bent back in a loose ball play. Have not diagnosed it. He said it doesn't really matter. I'm going to play anyway, whether it's broken or not. I mean, he's just a real tough kid.
And Calvin hits the foul line jumper. Calvin is 3 for 3 from the field now for 7 points. He's the Drake Bulldogs leading scorer. We mentioned that he only averaged about 10 points a game last year. He's better than 17 a game this year. Indeed, one of the most improved players in the league. Sally catches and scores.
We're taking advantage of their zone pressure and getting the ball inside and high percentage shots.
Now Corver, top of the circle three, is up the back of the tipped around and controlled Drake. And it's going to be a three-point opportunity by Nick Grant.
And that's what they do. They get the first ball up on the rim, and then all of them crash the board. Something we just got to make sure we check them out and chip them off and make sure they just don't get a clear shot at the rebound.
Timeout on the floor. 13:24 to go first half. Drake 16, Bradley 19 and Drake 16. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball here on WTVP Channel 47.
Integrated is a proud sponsor of Bradley basketball.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
From American experience, billions of barrels of oil, a pristine wilderness, all on the line. The biggest.
It was like a gold rush.
Boldest.
I was going to go if I lost my mind.
Most controversial private enterprise in American history.
The pipeline pulled Alaska kicking and screaming into the 20th century.
Is the oil crucial or is the wilderness crucial?
The Alaska Pipeline.
Start for Jim Less's Bradley Braves, shooting just a notch below 70%, 69% here in the first 7 minutes of the game, and a 19-16 Bradley advantage.
It's definitely nice when you have shots within 5 feet of the basket, easy layups, taking advantage of what Drake's given us.
And now Nick Grant to the foul line to try to complete the three-point play. Grant spent this summer on an East Coast All-Star team. He toured Norway. A chance to better his game overseas in the summertime. And he completes the three-point play and immediately will head to the Drake bench. He will be replaced by Leonard Houston from Holland, Michigan. He's a junior guard. Again, Drake is very fluid in bringing in their subs.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you hear me shout out periodically, line change, because this team loves to substitute. They like to throw a lot of different guys at you. They don't allow you to throw any type of tempo or rhythm in your game.
And they've gone zone here on the Braves. fact, we're seeing Adam Emenaker in the game for the first time for the Bulldogs. 9 to shoot. Franklin gets it up to Ruffin. Inside to Sam Singh, who's just checked in. Now it's Danny Adams in the game for the first time. He knocks down his first shot, which is a 3-ball.
Yeah, I just can't imagine Drake staying in that zone for too long. Bradley is just too proficient from three-point range for them to lay back in the zone. Eventually, our ball movement will break it down.
Adams has given the Braves a 5-point advantage at 22-17. We're seeing Jonathan Cox also for the first time for the Bulldogs.
He could become the X factor in this game. He's a walk-on last year, walk-on this year. The kid just has a nose for the ball. He scores a few points. He rebounds for him. He does the utility player things that a scholarship player should normally do, but he's doing it in a walk-on mode.
Well, somehow Drake got a fresh 30 seconds, even after that shot was partially blocked. And Drake retained possession here. The shot clock was reset. So
I think we tried to outlet it too fast, and our player had already returned to go down the floor and just wasn't expecting it.
Cox works the baseline on Adams, who cut him off. Now it's out to Bryant, who drew a foul on Will Franklin out at the circle. So that'll be Franklin's first.
Franklin's off to a good start. That's something we talked about in the beginning. He is their main man. Now, tonight, he's gotten easy layups, and that's just going to open up his outside game later in the game.
Timeout on the floor. 11:51 to go till halftime, and Bradley a 5-point lead over Drake. And you're watching Bradley University Men's Hoops here on WTVP Channel 47.
As a SEFCU member, you're making a difference. Because your money stays right here, helping your neighbors and supporting your community.
Support for Bradley basketball comes from Monge, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance. Safe drivers 55 and over may qualify for discounts from auto owners, providing no-problem life, home, car, and business protection. Information on how to reduce your premiums and possibly increase your coverage is available from Monge, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance in Pekin.
Aloha, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join us as our search for America's hidden treasures takes us to the only state completely surrounded by water.
Wow. Oh, gosh. I've got goose skins.
Next time from Honolulu, Hawaii on Antiques Roadshow.
Back here at the Knapp Center, Bradley 22 and Drake 17. Kurt Pegler, Chad Klein with you for Bradley and Drake here in Des Moines, and the Braves still shooting red hot, 71% here to start the game.
Both teams have started out real well. It's no problem about the up-tempo game. Both teams are providing that action for us. It's not going to be a boring game to watch or to call.
Well, we mentioned that these are two of the oldest rivals in the Missouri Valley Conference. Drake has 484 all-time wins and is first in the league. Bradley is second with 473 all-time wins in the conference. And we're under 12 minutes to go here first half. Just underway, and glad you're alongside here on WTVP Channel 47, public television for Central Illinois.
It's good to see Sam Singh in here. He needs to be in there to kill some minutes and give our big guys a little bit of a rest and help, and also hopefully pick up the rebounds for us.
Well, you mentioned that Jonathan Cox might be the X factor, Chad, and he just knocked down a three-pointer. That's only his third three-point make of the season, but that three-pointer pulls the Bulldogs within a pair here.
It's not a part of his game, but like we talked about, he just is a utility player. He will do whatever it is to help Drake win.
Here's Franklin now over the zone. He missed the outside shot. Adams tipped it, but it's controlled by Cox. I agree with you. I like his game. It's hard to believe that he was a walk-on, and he's really played himself into the Drake rotation here.
Well, I talked to the SID here at Drake, and they said next year he will pick up a scholarship. And obviously well-deserved from his play so far the first 2 years.
Houston had the ball stripped. It was Ruffin that got a hand on it. Franklin comes away with it. Now back to Ruffin on the break. His shot is no good. And tipped back out. Athletic play by J.K. Twy.
Yeah, Ruffin is just the ultimate pickpocket, much like Grant for Drake. He's just a specialist at that.
Twy missed the baseline three now, and the Bulldogs have a chance to shoot for the tie. or the lead if this one goes down. It's Bryant for three. No good. Long rebound to Adams.
They're letting him play a little bit. You like to see that.
Adams now, a three. He's fouled on it, a 4-point opportunity for the fifth-year senior from Metamora.
With the types of zones that Drake played against Bradley, I could perceive that Danny could have a big game tonight shooting threes unless they mix something up and do something to stop that.
You see the Braves do a nice job of moving the ball around to the open man, and Adams knocks down the three, and he's hacked on the shots.
Yeah, just really nice ball movement by the Braves, and just an easy three-pointer, and the foul's gravy.
He missed it, but the back tap is controlled by the Braves, and they could make this a 5-point possession.
And that was Andrews, and like we said, he's pressed of late, but he's really starting to play a little bit in this game. It's nice to see, because he wants it so bad. We talked to Coach Les a little bit last week and talked about Somerville and how he pressed last year. And I think Zach's in a very similar position. He's a senior. It's his last go-around. He wants it so badly that he's doing things that are a little bit out of his character.
Earlier today, Northern Iowa knocked off Southern Illinois here in the state of Iowa over at Cedar Falls.
Valley's already starting to have an interesting mix to it. You've already seen at least 4 teams in the Valley lose at home. Bradley would be included in that. Drake would be included in that. Wichita State in the league. It's just going to be an interesting Valley season.
Zach Andrews is going to get to the free throw line. The Braves pushing the ball up the floor after Jonathan Cox was stripped by Will Franklin, who's in the fast break. And that foul is going to be whistled to Calvin. That's his first. And so Zach Andrews to the free throw line. Andrews certainly will be a key to tonight's game, Chad, because he is probably going to be matched up more often than not against Calvin.
And I think it's a good matchup for him. Usually when you're a big man, and especially as a team we're struggling with rebounds, it's good to be matched up against their best rebounder because it makes you work that much harder on the boards.
Andrews makes both foul shots. It's his largest lead of the game at 7 points, 27. Alley-oop backdoor didn't work, but Jonathan Cox comes down with it, and there he is, at right place, right time.
Again, like we said, the referees are definitely letting them play.
That ball scored out of bounds by Andrew Warren, who just checked in. He misfired as he was trying to connect with Will Franklin.
Yeah, Grant did a great job there cutting off one passing lane. Franklin cut back door and just tried to force a pass that wasn't there.
Most college basketball fans will say they enjoyed this style of play when the officials are letting it kind of indicate itself. There's not a whole lot of whistles here in the first 12 minutes, and so we're seeing a lot of good basketball.
As long as it goes both ways, I think it's definitely something you like to see.
Cox is inside, something that these Drake Bulldogs fans like to see.
Because it also, whenever you are able to keep the whistle in your pocket for the referees, it allows rhythm to form in the game. And actually, I think more rapidly than it does.
Jonathan Cox off the Drake bench now with 7 points. He and the team lead in scoring. Now Franklin instead gives it up to Warren, who penetrates, hangs, fires, made the shots.
I really think Warren is going to be a special player. He's a freshman. He's got to get stronger, but he has a very similar game to what Anthony Parker had when I played at Bradley. Just really smooth. He can shoot the three, penetrate. Just an all-around nice offensive set of skills.
The freshman from Indianapolis is getting some more playing time, too, with Jeremy Crouch out of the mix.
And he really needs to step up, and so far he's doing a good job tonight.
Under 8 minutes to go here in the opening half. Here's A.J. Calvin, said the hot hand, continues to have the hot hand. Calvin is now 4 of 4 from the field.
Yeah, and he's really coming out strong. Usually you see him picking up a lot of junk around the boards, but so far tonight he's come out very aggressive and looking for a shot.
And a steal, the quick hands of Josh Young. And now quickly back at the floor from the Bulldogs. Cox has it on the baseline. Had it blocked, got it back. Had it blocked again, out of bounds, and the ball's going to go to the Braves.
Well, I can't say it enough. They are really letting them play out here tonight.
The fans are not in agreement with that one, but Jim Les and his bench are.
So far, though, the refs have been pretty consistent both ways and letting them play on both ends of the court. Yeah, you could have called the foul there, but he was surrounded by 3 Bradley players and not really gaining an advantage, so I think it's a good call.
7:18 to go till halftime. Bradley enjoying a 3-point lead. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball on WTVP, Channel 47.
OSF St. Francis Heart Hospital stands out from the rest. With the region's most experienced cardiac team, the latest life-saving treatments, and powerful technology to find problems sooner for shorter door-to-treatment times. OSF St. Francis Heart Hospital, at the heart of innovation and excellence. Illinois' only hospital certified for heart attack care.
Enhance productivity. Support teamwork. Improve access to technology. Reduce stress and discomfort. Look to Lincoln Office for products that open up possibilities. Lincoln Office, enhancing workspace effectiveness. For more information, visit lincolnoffice.com.
In a country of over 1 billion people, China has the potential to be a powerful empire. But an economic boom has left many behind amidst political corruption.
Power, money, and knowledge are colluding to serve a bandit society.
From a village election to the National People's Congress, explore power and the people on China from the inside.
Jim Les and the Braves enjoying a 29-26 advantage here at the Knapp Center in the first half against the Drake Bulldogs. Kurt Pegler and Chad Klein with you from Des Moines, Iowa. Bradley looking for its first victory in this building in 4 years. The Bulldogs have had the Braves number in 5 of the last 6 meetings. Yep. Last year's season finale in Peoria was the only time that Bradley has beaten Drake in the last 3 years.
Yeah, as of late, Drake has really owned the Braves here, and I don't know what it is. Is it the home court advantage? Obviously, for Drake, it's a small gym. It can get really loud when they get the tempo going in their direction, and I think it's really affected us the last couple of years. So far tonight, the crowd's been pretty quiet, except maybe in the year of the officials.
Braves do a nice job again of cracking that Drake full court pressure. Bradley is completing its busiest stretch of the season, 11 days, 5 games. It's the first time in 12 years that they've had that stretch in the Missouri Valley Conference. The last time that happened, you were on the team, Chad. That's not a whole lot of fun when you got to play 5 games in 11 days.
It's really not, and this being the 5th game, that your legs are dragging a little bit. You're away from home. You're tired, and it's just not a fun stretch of the schedule. But they're going to hopefully get a win tonight.
Sarcastic applause by the fans here at the Knapp Center as a foul is whistled against the Braves. It's going to go against Zach Andrews, his second. We're going to get some free throws for the Bulldogs. Josh Young.
And that's been one of the problems for Zach, is staying in the game. He's been getting a few cheap fouls and maybe being a little overly aggressive, especially early in games, to where he has to sit down and take himself out of the rhythm and take himself out of the game.
Right now, Bradley is taking Zach Andrews out of the game. He goes to the bench. This guy at the free throw line, we mentioned it briefly earlier, Josh Young, he averaged better than 35 points per game, both his junior and senior years at an Oklahoma high school. And in one game, he dropped 64 points on an opponent.
Yeah, Drake has touted him as one of the best freshman guards in the league. And so far, he's been a little bit inconsistent. But as he grows up, I think he'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
There's one on the shot clock. Entry pass to Sally. Tough shot, no good. Clears it.
But it's a good pass inside. We're breaking down the zone inside, and really using our big men.
And there's Josh Young again. He's not afraid to pull the trigger. It's a tie game after he 29 all. 6 minutes to go here, first half. Bulldogs kind of in a matchup zone, it looks like, huh, Chad?
Absolutely. Drake will throw a lot of different types of zones. They'll throw man-to-man at you. Again, they're all about getting you out of that rhythm, getting you out of your tempo, getting you out of your game.
When that Sally made a bad situation there, Daniel Ruffin got here. Ball.
Oh, done a hitting the ball.
Up as of late, better than 12 past 9.
Some control about being able to play two halves. So far, 60% from the field. He's got to get it.
J.J. Watt, a three from the opposite. And it's 61% share.
After shooting, being outshot by and shooting 1% clip is great to see.
Now the Braves are showing some zone here.
Yeah, very effective early in the season with this zone. It just took them out of what they're used to doing. It allowed them to rebound a little bit better and allowed Evansville to pull away late in the game.
What an effort here by A.J. Calvin. Offensive rebound through the foul. Not too happy. But Calvin showing why he's the lead. This three. And that team stayed north. It's an action. You know how you get a chance.
It is a wonderful opportunity because it helps your basketball, but it helps you grow up as a man. On your faith, you build relationships that you'll have. It's just a wonderful opportunity.
Well, it certainly helped his game out. Clayton Korver knocks down a three with a hand in his face.
That is definitely something that Bradley does not want to see. You don't want to let him get started and really get off.
And we're back even at 34.
And he's definitely been more aggressive already than he was the entire Southern game.
Now Will Franklin from the corner can't get it. Tipped up, no good. Out of bounds to Drake.
So far,
we're seeing Keita come back in. Sorry about that, Chad. We haven't seen him. He started the game. He played about 5 minutes. That's the big guy, number 44. And now he's checking back in after about 14 minutes on the bench.
Yeah, I think he's used more now as a player to give the rest of the squad a rest. He doesn't see a lot of time. He does start. But, again, I just don't think he fits well into what they try to do.
Bradley is called the 32nd here. We're at the 4th. We're all even at 34. Certainly the Braves have shaking out the cobwebs from a very disappointing performance by in Wichita, Kansas, night before last. They don't show any hangover effect from that game here in the first half.
No, so far our legs look fresh. We're getting out on the break. We're attacking the boards. We just got to shore up the field goal percentage, get out to their shooters a little better, not give the cheap offensive rebounds, and we'll be fine.
The Bulldogs, this is a team that seems to be growing. And Tom Davis has this thing headed in the right direction. You're talking about a school that's beaten Iowa State. In fact, their victory over the Iowa Hawkeyes, Tom Davis' team, that ended 28 years of since 1990. So they've got this area about basketball once again.
Yeah, in past years, Drake has just had a lot of different pieces of the puzzle, but those pieces just didn't fit that well together. This year, they really seem to have a group that's very cohesive, and they just play well together.
And again, the Braves stay in their zone D here. Under 4 minutes left in this opening half. Nice move on the baseline, a reverse lay-in by Leonard Houston.
That's just a little too easy flat line, just a little bit too easy.
Bulldogs' first advantage since early in the game. Matt Sally catches two, can't get it. Cox the rebound for the Bulldogs.
Sally has stepped up for us in the last games, but periodically you'll see him be a little, lose his focus, not be as strong. It's just something that I think he'll learn over time. But so far he's done a good job, but he just needs to get a little stronger inside when he gets that ball and take it up strong.
Houston thought about it, now stepped inside of the pump fake, had a shot blocked, swatted out of there by Matt Sally. Now Ruffin, left open from the three-point arc, and he gets the three to go down.
Just great ball movement by the Braves. 3-4 passes and get a wide open three-pointer. You can't beat that.
Ruffin's first field goal of the game, and the Braves are back in front by a point now at 37-36.
And really, I think that going inside early has helped us open up the three-point shot a little bit.
After making only 6 of 21 three-point shots in Wichita, Kansas on Thursday, Bradley already has 5 three-point makes in the opening half, and we still have better than 2 minutes to go here.
Well, there's a reason they're leading the country in three-point field goal.
Kick out to Houston. His three is no. Keita had the ball, knocked out of his hands, chased down in the corner though. Boy, the Bulldogs love to rebound. It makes for a second chance basket, and it's a 3-ball that goes down. Now Will Franklin back up the floor. His shot off the glass is no good. Back to front court. He's cut off by Ruff, got it back, and then stolen. And then back on the floor. And it's going to be a tie-up, and this ball should go to the Braves on the possession area.
Yeah, good effort there by the Braves. Ruffin cut him off, and it looked like he double dribbled, but didn't get the ball, and then still caused him to lose the ball, diving on the floor by Adams. He's another one like J.J. Twy. You have to have that type of utility player that's just willing to do anything to help the Braves win.
Leonard Houston's reverse basket has the Drake Bulldogs ahead of Bradley's Braves 39-37. Time for a break. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball at WCVP Channel 47.
E&D Integrated is a proud sponsor of Bradley basketball.
Teams, 9 games, 4 days, and one big invitation to the dance. It's Hoops in the Heartland. The 2007 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8th through 11th at the Drake Knapp Center. Hoops in the Heartland.
Looking for a credit card with no teaser rates? No annual fees? No out-of-town runaround? You found it.
Here at the Knapp Center, 140 to go here until halftime. Drake with a 39-37 lead.
Notice they'll pressure, drop off quick once you get past that first trap, or get the ball in bounds over the top of the original.
Adams, ball off of Twy's hands, a turnover against the Braves, and Drake back in the front court quickly.
You've got to wonder there with Twy with hand. He kind of came at it with one. Trying to protect that.
Bulldogs do a nice over the back ball.
Just a really good hustle play by Grant.
Tom Davis wants a 30-second timeout to calm his troops. 65 seconds to go here in this open.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day, we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
Next time on Frontline, in a lawless territory, off limits to the U.S. military and the CIA.
There's enemy infiltrating from Pakistan.
Al-Qaeda and the Taliban have regrouped.
The situation in Afghanistan is more dire than we've seen publicly portrayed.
From inside this secretive land,
These guys have shown they are not going to quit.
Frontline investigates the return of the Taliban.
On Nova Science Now, take an elevator ride into orbit.
22,000-mile elevator ride? People are nuts.
Maybe not. Can inventors defy the critics and the forces of gravity? Neil deGrasse Tyson hosts Nova Science Now.
Bradley's been with a
Danny Adams.
still trying to pass. Got the 2-for-1, unfortunately. 2-for-1 you're for.
We entered the game. Both teams now with cap turnovers. And when you think about the pace of play that goes up and down, 7 turnovers and not really a bad number.
No, it's really not bad. I mean, done a good job of handling their pressure. Just an unfortunate mistake there by Daniel.
3-point shot. Off the back of the rim, no good. It's going to be an over the back. Breaks Nick Grant.
He is really being aggressive and looking for his shot tonight. Really surprising me a little bit because from everything I've seen from him, he's more dunk around the rim, hit some off rebounds and score that way around the basket. But he's really decided to step out tonight and actively look for his shot.
Well, that's Calvin's first miss of the night. He's already made a 3. And now Bradley, with the shot clock off, can hold for the final shot of the half.
Look for a 3 to tie, going into halftime. Or that they've been real effective going inside to Sally and Andrews in the first half too. If they're going to leave the middle open, might not be a bad idea to look for that as well.
3 to shoot. Franklin baseline hangs, fires. Floater is good. It'll be a 1-point Drake lead at the half as the Braves convert right before the home. Franklin with a pass. He's pulled 1. Drake. 30. Knapp Center.
Our command.
G&D Integrated is a proud sponsor of Bradley Basketball.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
Today in the Coach's Clinic, we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of the game. It's shooting the basketball. And this, to me, is an aspect of the game that anybody can improve upon. All you need is a ball, you need a basket, and you need some good fundamentals in terms of getting ready to shoot the ball, your shot preparation, and just I'll keep it simple with just a couple fine points that Anybody, small, medium, big, can shoot the ball well if they just do these simple fundamentals well. And we're fortunate enough to have Jeremy Crouch with us, who's one of the top shooters in the country. And we're just going to break down some of the things that we talk to Jeremy about on a daily basis. When you walk out on the floor, don't start shooting threes. Start in close, groove your shot, get into, you know, a good form and a good state of mind with good shot preparation and good repetition with good fundamentals. So Jeremy's going to start in tight. And when I say shot preparation, what I'm going to tell Jeremy is before he receives the ball, now he wants to get ready to shoot the ball. So he should be down in a good low position, good basketball position. For him, he likes to have his right foot back so he can step into his shot. He's going to show me his hands, and he's going to get ready to receive. So Jeremy, just catch and then stop right there. And you can see right there, and it's just the repetition of being down, catching, and being ready. When Jeremy's out on the perimeter and he sees Daniel Ruffin getting ready to penetrate, as he's spotting and moving up, he's staying down in a low position, getting ready to catch and receive that ball. The next move that Jeremy's going to make, and next thing we're going to talk about is watch his eyes when he catches the ball. Okay, as he catches, we talk about a very important part of his shot is his eyes. And so many guys forget, you know, the eyes are a muscle. And it's a trained muscle. And what we want Jeremy, as soon as he catches in, we want him to get right to his target and lock his eyes on the rim. And a lot of young shooters make the mistake that when they catch the ball and then they release the ball, they follow the ball when they shoot. We always want to keep our eyes on the target. Think about if you're a hunter, okay, and you're trying to shoot, or maybe you got a bow and arrow and you're going to shoot that arrow. You don't try and follow the arrow. You try and keep your eyes locked on the target. Well, same thing with shooting the basketball. Jeremy's eyes want to stay locked on the front of the rim, okay, and getting the ball up and over the front of the rim, but we don't want his eyes to move from rim to ball back to rim. They stay on the ball. The next thing Jeremy's going to do is, as he catches and locks his eyes on the rim, is he's going to start to bring the ball up. And we always talk about the first movement in any jump shot is up in the air, okay, and that creates some arc on your shot. Most people don't know, but 2 basketballs can fit inside the rim. So by giving the ball some arc and some air underneath the ball, it'll give him plenty of opportunity to make shots. So again, we're going to take it, Jeremy, right to your release point. He's shot preparation, his eyes are locked, and he gets up. And you'll notice, and as he starts to shoot live, the movement always, and some guys are always talk about you got to have your elbow in, your elbow here. I'm not worried about his elbow. I'm just worried about as he catches and he locks in, that first movement is always up here, shooting the basketball. And that's even some little guys. They're shooting a little wasty shot because they're still a little bit too weak and not strong enough. Same thing, shot preparation, eyes on the rim, and my first move is up so I can get some arc on the shot. The next and most important finishing touch on the shot is Jeremy's follow through. And you'll notice we talk about pointing 3 fingers in the middle of the rim every time he shoots. Good shooters never miss right or left. They either miss long or short, and that's because they know their follow through. Every time they shoot, he's going to stick those 3 fingers in the middle of the rim every time he shoots. So let's watch Jeremy shoot a couple in a row right here. Check out his shot preparation. Check out his eyes staying locked on the rim. The first movement is catch and going up in the air, and then watch him finish and hold his follow through.
It's time for a quick trip with Illinois Adventure. Our stop is at the official home of the Man of Steel. As most folks know, Metropolis is the home of Superman. But few people realize that the only metropolis in the United States is located in southern Illinois. It's also home to the Super Museum, a vast collection of props and memorabilia from Superman comics, TV shows, and movies.
The museum's divided up into various sections. Of course, we're here right now in the George Reeves section, as I call it. It's actually the Adventures of Superman from the 1950s television series. And we have a lot of items here, such as his original brown and gray costume, which was used for the black and white episodes. We have the color costume, which was later on used for the color episodes. Yeah, there's some interesting things. You've got George Reeves' life mask that was taken off of his face. A mold of his face was taken, and of course that's a cast from the mold back in 1953. You've got a dagger that was used in one of the episodes that was bent on his chest. Everybody considers George Reeves the original Superman, but in fact, the original first Superman his name was Kirk Allen, and he was Superman in the Columbia serials back in the 40s, 1948 in fact, and then they did another one in 1950. But I was Kirk Allen's personal manager for almost 6 years, so in the midst of that I had acquired an original phone booth that belonged to him and was used for the show, or for the film, his original boots, and a lot of his personal items. We have a Christopher Reeve section. I've got his original costume. I've got an additional cape. I've got the original power crystals that he used to build the Fortress of Solitude, and the one that was held by Marlon Brando in the film. And I also have Marlon Brando's Jor-El-S that was on his chest during the film.
Outside, the town of Metropolis has erected a statue to the comic book hero.
The person who designed the statue, Gary Smith, from Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, actually did the Emmy Award statue in Pasadena. So he had a little bit of resume behind him when they chose him, and there was several people that submitted sample sculptings, but he was the one that they wanted, and it's a very good representation of the character because different parts of the statue represent different eras of the character.
Each year, Metropolis hosts a Superman festival, attracting collectors from across the country and a few celebrities. For more information on the Super Museum, call 618-524-5518. And join us as we travel across the state each week on Illinois Adventure here on Channel 47, Thursdays at 8 and again on Sunday afternoons at 4. It's time for another quick trip with Illinois Adventure. Our stop today is in Rockford at the Anderson Japanese Gardens.
A Japanese garden is a place where one can come and commune with nature, has a very calming effect on the guests that come here. It's a way to get away from the stresses of everyday life and enjoy the serenity that is found in a Japanese garden. Water is probably the most important element of a Japanese garden because of the sound. It's very calming and very relaxing. There is no place in our garden where you can't hear water. We have many water basins in our garden. We have one that is in the shape of an authentic Japanese coin. It is round with a square cut out in the middle. There are characters around it. We do have a tea house on the grounds. Occasionally we will have students from the School of Tea in Port Chicago that will come out here and perform the tea ceremony in a natural, authentic surrounding. It is a beautiful ceremony to see. At the west end of the garden we have a 50-foot waterfall. It is totally man-made. It took 3 years to build, and there are over 700 tons of boulders. About 1,600 gallons of water go through each minute, and a beautiful sound, and it's in 3 levels. It's a very pretty waterfall. In our pond, we have many different varieties of fish, one of which is the Japanese koi. It is a type of carp, comes in many different varieties, very colorful, and in Japan, the koi is a symbol of love and strength. To really appreciate a Japanese garden, one would come into the garden to enjoy the serenity, to walk around slowly, to look at everything, to listen for the different sounds, to sit in different areas and just appreciate the beauty that is around you. It's a very nice place for meditating.
To find out more about Anderson Gardens in Rockford, call 815-877-2525. And join us again for another quick trip.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
Buying a home can be overwhelming, but you don't have to go it alone. SEFCU is here to lend a helping hand. With a SEFCU home loan, getting there is easier than you think.
G&D Integrated is a proud sponsor of Bradley Basketball.
Bradley just needs to pick up the pace a little bit, knuckle down a little bit, and do 4 right, 16 to 12. And an up tempo turn of chaos. 7.
Earlier today in the Missouri Valley Conference, Northern Iowa defeated Southern Illinois at the McLeod Center at Cedar Falls 66-61 at the half. Evansville leads Creighton at home 38-35. And with about 2 minutes to go in the half at Red Bud Arena, Illinois State trails Indiana State 23-20.
And actually we have an updated score on that. It's now 25-20 at Indiana State at the half.
And the Sycamores are coming off a victory over Creighton in the last week. They've beaten Purdue and Creighton earlier this year. They knocked off Ball State, so the Sycamores, picked for last in the conference, are certainly playing better than a last place team.
I really look forward to watching them play because they've obviously done some things in the offseason to get to where they are now. Another team like that would be Northern Iowa. They were really expected to be in a rebuilding year, and here they are probably leading the conference. They just beat
4-0, right?
They just beat Southern Illinois today, and they've really put themselves in a good position to start out the conference season.
Yeah, start out 4-0 and drop Southern Illinois to 3-1. So
not bad for being a rebuilding year.
Ben Jacobson in his first season with the Panthers is doing a bang-up job. As you get a look at the Braves bench, as we are just seconds away from the start of the second half, and Bradley sends out Will Franklin, J.J. Fly, Zach Andrews, Matt Sally, and Daniel Ruffin, the same 5 that opened the game for the Braves.
Hey, we got a good shot at Coach Les. It's a good time to talk. Coach Les does a real good job of making adjustments and throwing things in to attack those weaknesses, and I really look forward to seeing what adjustments he made at halftime to really try and make it a little more difficult for Drake to get some easy shots.
Clayton Corver, A.J. Calvin, Al Stewart, Nick Grant, and Josh Young start the second half. 4 of the 5 open the game. Young is starting the second half in place of Alukita, who started the game but has really only played, about 6 minutes of this one.
Yeah, I think it's one thing we really got to look is at Calvin. He really had a hot first half, and something where Zach's going to have to step up here early and try and shut him down.
So the Bulldogs open the second half with the basketball and a 1-point lead. Young misses. Zach Andrews hired to get the defensive rebound.
Yeah, he does a great job just getting up in the air and just being more athletic than everybody else.
We're glad you're alongside here over WTVP's airwaves. Bradley and Drake from the Knapp Center in Des Moines. Daniel Ruffin shoots the Braves back in front at 41-40.
And really, he had a slow first half. He really wasn't a big contributor like he normally is. It's good to see him get started early.
5 points now for Ruffin, and he's averaged better than 16 points and 5 assists in the last 6 games. But as Chad said, a pretty quiet first half. Now we got a foul under the basket. We're going to get some more foul shots for Al Stewart.
Yeah, Zach did a great job of making a difficult shot for Calvin. Unfortunately, it didn't even draw iron. It makes it an easy pickup for Stewart. And they're back where they like to be, on the free throw line.
Well, Stewart is one of the quickest guards in the league. As you see that Daniel Ruffin jump shot. Ruffin certainly one of the quickest guards in the Missouri Valley Conference. So you've got 2 guys that cause defenses all kinds of troubles and play good defenses squared off against one another.
Yeah, and they do a really good job. I mean, I would call Stewart a very similar player to Ruffin. He just plays a little bit more out of control, almost on the edge of out of control.
And he splits his foul shots, and so we're even at 41 as we're 1 minute and 10 seconds into this second half. Bradley trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Drake trying to snap a season-high 3-game losing streak, and we've got a foul. It's going to be against Clayton Corver.
That's a great job by Sally, recognizing nobody picks him up. Just takes a straight line to the basket, gets an easy foul. A little surprised he didn't call that a shooting foul.
Well, in the first half where we saw very few whistles and very few fouls, the officials letting them play, we've seen 2 whistles here in the first 80 seconds. Yeah. Sally kicks out to Twy now. Penetrates, and another kick out to Ruffin. Man-to-man D by the Bulldogs. Behind his screen. Now it's Ruffin hitting the floater. We saw Franklin hit a floater like that to end the half, and now Ruffin early in the second half answers with one of his own.
We've watched him in practice the last couple weeks, and they've actually added this as one of the drills that they do. Ruffin has been so effective with that floater that they actually practice as a team working on that floating jump shot. You saw Franklin hit one, and actually their guards have become proficient at it.
Daniel Ruffin's had that shot in his bag of tricks ever since high school at Central. He used to use that shot quite a bit. Down low, short shot, and Nick Grant knocks it in off the glass.
It's an easy shot, but Andrews really did the right thing there. He didn't force a foul, and we really need him on the floor.
Franklin tried to kick the pass out to J.J. Twy, threw it away.
That's one, as a player, you feel a little foolish. You see the referee there, and you think he's your player that you're trying to dump it off to, and surprise, it's the referee.
Well, your peripheral vision, right?
Exactly.
You're driving down the lane, you see a body out there at the perimeter, and you think it's one of your teammates.
Yeah, because he's moving with the flow of the game, and he just looks like a player because you're not really looking for the color.
Boy, a tough shot there. A nice move by Nick Grant. He almost got it to go down, but instead he'll be rewarded with a couple of free throws. Grant is one of these guys that the Bulldogs count a lot on. He does a little bit of everything. He can score, obviously. He had 15, a team high, against Southern Illinois the other night. As we mentioned earlier, he spent the summer kind of fine-tuning his game with an all-star team that played overseas in Norway. He's counted on to be a leader here. You know, there's a lot put on this guy's shoulders.
Well, and also, too, remember, he's the leading steal getter in the Valley. I mean, he does a lot of different things for him.
Yeah, entered the game with 29 steals. Makes the free throws, and now we're seeing some of the patented early halftime substitutions. Leonard Houston comes in, and he sends A.J. Calvin to the bench. It's the 12th lead change of this game now, as Drake is in front 45-43.
If you notice that Drake's getting the ball inside just a little bit too easy. We need to put a little more pressure on that pass to the interior to make it a little more difficult for them to get it inside.
Braves turn the ball over again, and back come the Bulldogs. Bradley in a man-to-man defense. Jonathan Cox is checked into the game. That's him who hands the ball off, and a shot that Al Stewart makes.
We talked to Coach Fisher. They were really concerned about Drake's penetration, and Cox, that player that does it all, gets in there and makes an easy shot.
He doesn't like the way the second half has started, calls for a 30-second timeout. Well, the one thing that Drake does very well is bring chaos to the floor, and what the Bulldogs like to do is get you out of your rhythm.
And so far in the second half, they've done that to us a little bit. They're still shooting at too good of a clip at 54%. It's just something, I think that's what Coach Les is talking to them about. We need to stop their penetration. We need to quit making it so easy for them to get it inside and get those easy shots.
Well, Bradley lost 70% of its scoring and 65% of its rebounding from a season ago, and yet they've retooled the offense and kind of played to its strengths now, which is why you're seeing 4 guards, 3 and 4 guard combinations at the floor at all times. It's a fun style to play and for fans to watch, but some of the rebounding deficiencies that the Braves have been prone to in the last couple of games, that's the minus that you got to take with the pluses of that style, isn't it?
And that's one thing you have to credit Coach Les and the rest of the coaching staff for, is recognizing that you don't have that go-to big man in O'Brien anymore, so you're going to be forced to play the smaller lineup. Why not throw something a little different at teams that they're not expecting, playing that 4-guard lineup, and throw them something that they don't expect? The only problem with that is I think it also goes to the rebounding deficiency, is you have 4 guards instead of having the tendency and the mentality to go for the rebound. They're looking to dig the ball out after the rebound. That's just something we've got to adjust, or that Coach Les has to adjust in practice. The most unfortunate thing about the rebounding issue is it's really popped up here during this 5-game stretch that we've been on the road in 11 days. You don't have time to practice and make the adjustments to correct the problem. So you try and get through it, and then I think this week you'll start seeing some spirited practices with Bradley and fix the problem.
You mentioned earlier in the first half that this is the first time in 12 years that Bradley has had to play 5 Missouri Valley Conference games in an 11-day stretch of the season. The last time they had to do that was back when you were a player, back in the 94-95 season. That's not a whole lot of fun, right?
No, it's really not. And we did very well during that 5-game stretch. We went 4-1. Unfortunately, our final loss was to Tulsa at home that ended our 27-game home winning streak. So that was kind of a tough loss, even though we did so well on the trip, on the 5-day or the 11-day trip.
And at this point, you're just out of gas when you're on Game 5.
And I think you'll start to see it here in the second half. If it's going to hit, you're going to start seeing your legs drag. Hopefully, the type of tempo we're used to playing. We play an up-tempo game anyway, so hopefully it won't affect Bradley so much.
Well, it didn't bother Daniel Ruffin on that 3, nor on that steal. So the Braves now, down a point, have a chance to shoot for the lead, and they get it off the glass. It's Matt Sally showing some nice touch.
And again, there's that good job of looking at the Drake's defense and really focusing on its weakness. They're really giving us the shots inside, and we're taking advantage.
So the Braves rattle off 5 straight after Jim Less's timeout. Back in front by a point now at 48-47. Here's Bryant. He's going to draw a foul on Will Franklin, it looks like. Quick first step by Chris Bryant.
And I'm sure Coach is not going to be happy with that. Again, we're not stopping the puck penetration. It's giving them opportunities to dump off other players in easy baskets. It's also getting them to the free throw line.
Matt Sally's jumper gives the Braves a 48-47 lead. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball on WTVP, Channel 47.
Enhance productivity, support teamwork, improve access to technology, reduce stress and discomfort. Look to Lincoln Office for products that open up possibilities. Lincoln Office, enhancing workspace effectiveness. For more information, visit lincolnoffice.com.
It's more than just the teams.
Arch Madness.
It's more than just the players.
Arch Madness.
It's more than just the games.
Arch Madness.
It's just absolute, total, ultimate madness. It's the 2007 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament, March 1st through 4th.
Arch Madness. Be a part of the madness.
Back at the Knapp Center, Kurt Pegler, Chad Klein with you. 48-47, the Braves lead the Bulldogs. 15:51 to go here. And again, hot shooting has been the story for Bradley. They opened the game in the first half with hot shooting, and now it's continued here in the second half.
Yeah, both teams are shooting at a high percentage. I know Coach Les is not happy about the 54% that Drake's playing at, but thankfully we're shooting 60%. So both teams are getting high-quality shots, or at least making all the shots, and it makes for a fun game.
And just to kind of wrap up that thought about the Braves playing 5 games in 11 days. It's one thing to go through that. It's another thing to be on your last game, game 5 of that stretch, and have to play a team that's going to press you the whole night.
Yeah, and that's the biggest struggle I think Bradley's going to have is how are their legs going to be in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game.
Danny Adams in the ball game. He's checked in now. Here's Sally, who's had the hot hand. He misses the shot, but he's going to get fouled and get to the free throw line.
But talking about that leg issue, I think Bradley's done a good job, and Coach Les has done a good job of subbing people in and out to try and keep people's legs fresh.
Well, Matt Sally's been a nice addition to the Bradley lineup, junior college transfer. He's a native New Yorker who played his high school basketball at North Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually started out his college career at Central Florida Community College and then transferred back to New York to the Bronx at Monroe College, where his uncle once played, and now is playing in Peoria, Illinois.
And so far, like you said, he's really been the man to go into inside. Zach's playing well. He's just not getting the points, but Sally's making up for that. It's good to see them both play on the floor and being able to play on the floor effectively.
It has not happened really this season for the Braves. The coaching staff has tried to unlock the key to having those two guys play together at the same time on the floor.
No, and that's just it. They haven't been able to put out their finger on why they haven't been able to play well together. Tonight they're doing a good job, but for whatever reason so far early in the season they've not been able to do that. But Coach Les is just trying to mix it up and give that pair an opportunity to work well together, and so far it's worked well.
Will Franklin got that steal and then was fouled. The foul was called against Josh Young of the Bulldogs. So Bradley with a 2-point lead in the basketball now as we approach the 15-minute mark left in this one. We're in Des Moines, Iowa at the Knapp Center.
And here is Drake in that zone again. Look for Bradley to move the ball and look inside. And if it's not inside, look for the 3-point shots.
Center of the shot clock. Pull-up jumper by Danny Adams. Front of the rim is no good. Long rebound comes out to Al Stewart. Back from the Bulldogs. Quickly ahead, A.J. Calvin. Pump fake underneath the basket. Missed the shot. Tipped around. Adams comes away with it.
Good job. A little chaotic play there, but that's what Bradley's got to do. They got to get those tough rebounds, tough loose balls when that play gets a little chaotic.
And we're going to have an illegal screen, it looks like, against Andrews.
That's a tough play. Just trying to get to roll to the basket a little too quick and moves on his screen.
And that's foul number 3 now on Zach Andrews.
And that's one of those keys of keeping him in the game, and that's been a problem for him this late.
Well, he fouled out of the game on Thursday night in Wichita with about 8 minutes to go in the game, and now he finds himself back on the Bradley bench with 3 fouls here with better than 14 minutes to go in Des Moines.
Right.
Stewart behind a screen from Korver, who's been relatively quiet here tonight. He's a streaky shooter.
Which is good for Bradley. The more you can keep Korver out, the better off we'll be, especially as hot as Calvin's been stepping out on the floor.
And we've got a whistle outside away from the basket. It's going to go against Danny Adams of the Braves.
Definitely a little bit different start to this half. There's definitely more fouls been called already. Refs trying to get a little bit more of a control on the game.
Quick entry pass goes inside, and it's Matt Sally going to be whistled. Nick Grant kind of snuck through, caught the inbounds pass, then drew the foul.
And now those fouls you didn't see being called in the first half are getting called. It's good they're doing it, though, at the start of the half and giving you an idea of how they're going to let you play. Gives us an opportunity to adjust.
Sorry about that, Chad. Chwai whistled for the foul. That's his third. So Andrews and J.J. Chwai each with 3 fouls as Nick Grant at the free throw line.
And that could become an issue the more deeper we get into this game is foul trouble.
Solid game for Nick Grant, the senior from near Washington, D.C., Annandale, Virginia. He now has the team lead with 13 points. And we're all even at 49. Under 14 minutes to go. There's that floater. Will Franklin loves that shot. Daniel Ruffin loves that shot. Franklin just quietly putting together yet another solid effort with 12 points. Josh Young hits a 3-pointer, and now he's got a 4-point opportunity as he was fouling the shot.
Yeah, there's what we talked about, that kid, Young having that 35, 36 average in high school, and there isn't a shot that he doesn't like. Franklin just a little too aggressive and fouls him on the shot.
And that's now 3 fouls on Will Franklin.
Yeah. Fouls are starting to add up here against Bradley.
And so the freshman from Lawton, Oklahoma makes his free throw. It's a 4-point play, and it's a 53-51 Drake advantage. Braves go inside to Matt Sally, who kicks it back out to Twy. It's Ruffin, thought about the three, now he's going to fire the three. Rimmed it no good, tipped around. Sally comes down with it, and it's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow is favoring Bradley.
Sally's been really effective tonight. He's been crashing the boards hard. He's scoring some points, doing an overall good job. I think Coach wants a foul there, but both players are going after that ball. Nobody gained an advantage. I think it was a good call.
Tom Davis is also wanting a conversation with the officials. He's having one now with Mike Litson down in.
Yeah, again, looking at the replay, I think that's a good call. Both players are going hard after the ball. Nobody gained an advantage. I think it's a good call by the ref.
Bulldogs are back in the zone D now. Twy is going to be called for his 4th foul. That's an offensive foul, player control foul against J.J. Twy. It's another senior from Verona, Missouri, has racked up foul number 4.
Yeah, he dipped his shoulder a little bit here. Watch the replay. He dips his shoulder in. Guy's already there. And just trying to force the issue a little bit too much.
4 fouls for J.J. Twy, 3 fouls for Zach Andrews, 3 fouls for Will Franklin.
And really, Bradley needs to get a stop here. Drake, the last couple times, has gotten the momentum, and we just need to stop that momentum because now the crowd's starting to get into it.
Now the Braves have switched to his own defense as Andrew Warren is checked in for Twy. And A.J. Calvin from the baseline right knocks down the jumper.
Boy, oh boy, he has been hot tonight.
Give him 11 points and give Drake a 4-point lead. And Ruffin may have walked, he did. Took a little half stutter step and got whistled for the turnover. And the turnover has reawakened the Drake faithful. A.J. Calvin, baseline jumper from the right side. And it's 65-51 Drake over Bradley. And you're watching Bradley University men's basketball on WTVP, Channel 47.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day, we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
At OSF St. Francis Heart Hospital, we set the standard in heart care. We're the only full-service tertiary hospital for hearts in central Illinois, with cardiac and vascular surgery, a heart failure program, and superior outcomes for heart attacks. OSF St. Francis Heart Hospital, at the heart of innovation and excellence. Illinois' only hospital certified for heart attack care.
Back here in Des Moines, where it's Cox coming away with the air ball from A.J. Calvin, so even when Calvin can't get it to go down, good things are happening for the Bulldogs.
Well, and that's unfortunate. Sally played good defense out there. He flew at the shot, made it a difficult shot for Calvin. We just got to get that rebound. That's what we talked about earlier, is chipping guys off and bumping them to the basket so they don't have such a clear lane to get those rebounds.
Jonathan Cox is a guy that likes to play against the Braves. He scored 15 against Bradley last year. He averaged 11 points and 3 rebounds in the 2 games against
And I think what's surprising to both of us is this kid's a walk-on still. He was a walk-on last year. He's a walk-on this year. Supposedly going to give him a scholarship next year.
He splits the foul shots. Back comes 3 subs for Drake, and back in the game now for Bradley is Zach Andrews. He re-enters the game now. We'll keep tabs on him. He's got 3 fouls. Adams to trigger. He gets it into Andrews. Again, the full court pressure that Tom Davis's teams always play. Did it at Iowa. Has brought that full court pressure here to Drake.
But really, the pressure has not affected us too much on the full court. It's more on the half court where it's been a problem.
Inside, Andrews got great position down low on A.J. Calvin and scored.
Good, strong move by Zach. Got position, made a quick move, strong move, and finished the play.
Andrews with 6 points now. Braves led in scoring by Will Franklin's 12. Ruffin and Sally each have 10. And there's going to be a foul here in the backcourt. It's going to go against the Bulldogs. Good anticipation by Andrew Warren. And the foul's going to be whistled against Leonard Houston. And now we've got a timeout on the floor. 11:56 to go until either the end of this one or overtime. And the way it's going, who knows? We might have an extra 5 minutes to play. Drake 56 and Bradley 53. You're watching Bradley University Men's Basketball on WTVP Channel 47.
Is a proud sponsor of Bradley Basketball. Support for Bradley Basketball comes from Monge, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance. When you insure your residence and your automobile with auto owners, you're eligible for a multiple policy discount that can reduce your premiums or possibly increase your coverage. Information on multiple policy discounts with auto owners is available from Monge, Crouch, and Mahoney Insurance in Pekin.
Did you know that ZEFQ
Gesundheit.
is a member-owned credit union? So at ZEFQ,
Gesundheit.
you get great rates and lower fees.
Where?
At ZEFQ.
Gesundheit.
Back in Des Moines at the Knapp Center, Kurt Pegler and former Bradley star Chad Klein with you. WTVP's first Bradley men's basketball game in 3 decades. We're glad you're alongside. For Bradley and Drake, it's been a very well-played game, and it's 56-53 in front of the Bulldogs, favor the Bulldogs.
And it really, both teams are shooting such a good field goal percentage. In the second half, Bradley shooting 75%, and Drake shooting 50%. On the rebound side, we've cut into that rebound differential. It's now 19-17. Drake, that's where we want to keep it.
You know that coaches that are defensive guys hate to see those field goal percentages up high. It means the offenses are clicking and guys are maybe getting, inside baskets and fast break points. But those defensive guys hate to see those big percentages.
Absolutely, but you know what? It's really been a well-played game so far, and both defenses are working hard. It's just something that I think both teams are just hot tonight.
Franklin, Ruffin, Adams, Warren, and Andrews are the 5 on the floor right now for the Braves.
They've changed it up a little bit. They've gone to a 1-3-1.
Adams left open. Missed the 3. Couldn't come down with it. It's Andrews. His fadeaway off the glass is down.
You gotta like that. That just tells you how well the ball has fallen tonight.
Well, Zach Andrews with a tough fadeaway jumper off the glass and in. Pulled the Braves within a point at 56-55. And Andrews with 8 points now. Here's Bryant spinning, hanging, firing. Can't get it to go. Andrews high up to get it.
And Andrews is doing a really good job in the second half. He's gotten to stay in the game, and he's getting the rebounds. He's getting some easy baskets and working hard.
Now it's Andrew Warren. His jumper is good, and it's a three-pointer from the corner left.
Actually, since he's picked up playing time, he's our hottest three-point shooter in the last 5 or 6 games at over 50%.
So the freshman from Indianapolis, whose playing time has increased due to the unfortunate knee injury to Jeremy Crouch, is trying to make the most of his minutes. Bradley's in front by a deuce now. Adam Emenaker's in the game. That's him with the basketball. Slipped it under to Cox, who flipped it up and in.
There's that penetration again. We got to cut. Or Bradley needs to stop that penetration, and then just an easy dump down for a layup.
And that's a pair of walk-ons. The one with the assist and the one with the basket.
Dr. Tom Davis does a great job of utilizing his walk-ons.
Well, in his system, he's going to play 11, 12 guys. So even if you're at the end of the bench, you stand a pretty good chance of seeing some minutes. Under 10 minutes to go in this one. We're all even, folks. Stay tuned. This one's shaping up for a fantastic finish. 5 on the shot clock. Ruffin hangs and fires and can't get it. Cox in there fighting away and comes away with it for the Bulldogs. Now quickly back up the floor is Drake. Bryant's shot is no good. Emenaker goes and gets it. Keeps the possession alive now for Drake.
Another offensive rebound for Drake. That's where you don't like to see it. You work hard on defense. You want to get that offensive board so you can attack on the offense. Now they got to go another 20, 30 seconds.
Well, the quick hands of Will Franklin nearly come away with the steal, but it does disrupt the Drake offense now with 10 on the shot clock. Emenaker behind the screen from Cox. Now penetrates. Drew contact. Ball's up in the air. Cox tried to tip it. The ball is out of bounds.
He just hustles so much for the ball. Works so hard for Dr. Tom Davis.
There's just 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock here, so it'll have to be a catch and shoot.
Yeah, watch it here. Emenaker gets inside, dumps it down to Cox, who slips, and just an easy bucket.
That was a possession prior to this one. Now there's the catch and the shoot, and it's going to be a shot clock violation as Stewart never drew the rim on that jumper.
Yeah, good defense by Bradley on the out of bounds, forcing him to throw it up, and shot clock violation.
And now Bradley with a chance to forge ahead as we're all even at 58 with 9 minutes to go here at the Knapp Center.
As you notice, as time starts to wind down, that pressure is getting a little tighter and tighter. They're just looking more for those steals and opportunities.
Franklin behind the screen from Sally. His jumper is no good. Sally tipped it. It's in the corner towards the Bradley bench. Ruffin came away with it. Now back to Sally and a three-point opportunity.
Well, I tell you what, Sally is playing like a man tonight. Gets the off, or tips the loose ball out to Warren, gets back involved and gets an easy layup and goes to the line. Playing well tonight.
Well, he's second on the Bradley roster in rebounding, only behind Zach Andrews. But you're right, Chet. He's very active. He gets his hands on a lot of balls. And in this opportunity now, a three-point play try. Matt Sally makes good, give him 13 points. He now takes over the Bradley lead in scoring. He's got 13, Franklin with 12, and Ruffin with 10, the three Braves in double figures. And a three-point Bradley advantage. And Stewart just drew the fourth foul on Zach Andrews, it looks like.
Yeah, and Zach needs to get away from the referee, and I know he wants to stay in there and is really working hard, but you gotta be careful what you do around the referee.
So Jim Les got a couple of more minutes out of Zach Andrews before he picked up the foul. You just see it on the penetration there from Stewart, and now he comes out, and J.J. Twy, who also has 4 fouls, re-enters.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, the fouls are really starting to add up against Bradley. Franklin has 3, Twy has 4, and now Andrews has 4.
Al Stewart, who played his junior college basketball right here in Des Moines at Des Moines Area Community College. He's from Chicago. He goes to the free throw line. Played his high school basketball at Manly. Now this one is shaping up to be a final possession basketball game.
And again, Drake's getting back to the free throw line. They get the ball up, they get the rebounds, and they just attack and are in attack mode all the time. And it's going to lend to getting to the free throw line quite a bit.
And again, the Braves do a superb job of getting that ball up the floor off the full court pressure. Now it's Warren who finds Ruffin. And now Franklin looks inside. Zone D by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they switched more to either like a mix between a 1-3-1 or a 3-2.
Ruffin's three rolls in. He got the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and then it dropped in.
Yeah, Ruffin has the ability to make difficult shots and shots at the right time of the game.
Corver's three is no good. Follow-up basket and in. Tough shot by Nick Grant. And there's that rebound bugaboo that the Bradley coaching staff has been trying to find a cure for. Now it's Franklin. The Braves again having this four-guard offense. Ruffin pump fake. Now it's Twy looking inside to Sally. His pass is picked off, and it's Grant now, who's played very well for the Bulldogs tonight. Takes it right at Franklin. Can't get it, but it's tipped in by A.J. Calvin.
And that's a big play. We stopped the first shot and just can't get the rebound. And that's been a key tonight, is Drake's been able to hit the offensive board and get cheap buckets off of it. And now it's a tie game.
13 points for Calvin, who averages 17 on the season. We're all even at 64 with 7 minutes to play.
And Bradley really needs to to get a basket here to stop the momentum and kill the rhythm of the Bulldogs.
Why the miss? Guess who comes away with it? Nick Grant. He seems to be all over the floor right now. Calvin on the low box, spinning in on Twy, who's got 4 fouls and can do nothing but just hold his position.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's too easy, but you don't want Twy to pick up that 5th foul. He made the right decision. He was so deep. The only thing you're going to do there is foul him and maybe create a 3-point play.
Ruffin goes inside to Sally, who knocks down the short jumper.
And again, there's that rhythm killer that Bradley needed, and now we get another stop on the other end.
Grant was looking for a foul, but no whistle was blown, so we're even at 62. The Braves shoot for the lead now. Andrew Warren left open from the corner, another 3. He's not playing like a freshman.
Well, I tell you just can't leave him open. He's just been a really hot shooter as of late for Bradley.
3 of 3 from the field. 2 of those 3 makes have been from three-point land. Give him 8 points and give the Braves a 3-point lead. Under 6 minutes to go now.
And now the momentum's changed back. The crowd has quieted down and really moved in favor of Bradley.
Inside basket again. For Nick Grant, for a guy that's 6'3", certainly doesn't mind playing down low.
No, he doesn't. That's part of his game. He slashes, he gets inside. He doesn't really shoot the three-pointer very well, but he can get that 10 to 15-footer. He can slash to the basket, and he gets loose balls.
He averages 10 a game. He's got 17 tonight. Now Warren will try from the other end. He's hit 3-point shots from both corners.
I don't know what Dr. Davis is thinking, but I think I'd guard him now.
He is playing older than his years. You would not think this young man is a freshman.
And he's playing with a lot of enthusiasm. You got to love that. Again, on the end of a 5th game in 11 days, you like to see that enthusiasm by someone who doesn't play quite as much.
Grant forced the shot, couldn't get it to go, and the ball is out of bounds to the Braves. Tom Davis is not happy at all. He points quickly at his bench, and he's going to get somebody up, Jonathan Cox. He'll be in the game when we come back. Under 5 minutes to go. Bradley 72, Drake 68. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball on WTVP, channel 47.
Enhance productivity. Support teamwork. Improve access to technology. Reduce stress and discomfort. Look to Lincoln Office for products that open up possibilities. Lincoln Office, enhancing workspace effectiveness. For more information, visit lincolnoffice.com.
At the beginning of your day, or in the middle of your day, even at the end of your day, you may not have time to think about your bank, but you do need your bank to be thinking about you. At Heritage Bank, every day, we're designing solutions for your family, your business, your future.
Heritage Bank, believing in the American spirit.
Greetings from the PBS Science Labs, where viewers like you are helping us to select the next great PBS Science series. I hope you enjoyed the first program of our experiment, Wired Science. But in case you missed it, you can watch it anytime at pbs.org. This week's show, Science Investigators. When? Wednesday night. So tune in, log on, and help PBS select the next great science series. Thanks.
Some young Bradley fans making the trek west to Des Moines, trying to whip the Braves onto a road victory in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley, which has not won in this building now in 4 seasons, has a 72-68 advantage with 4:54 to go.
Checking on that rebound differential. Bradley has hung tough. It's 25-22 Drake. That's all we need to do. We just need to be competitive. And on the field goal percentage, they're starting to cool. Drake is starting to cool down a little bit. They've dropped down to 45% for the second half. That's good to see for Bradley.
Adams having trouble getting the ball in bounds, and Jonathan Cox knocked it away. The Braves have Zach Andrews, Matt Sally, Will Franklin, Danny Adams on the floor right now, along with Daniel Ruffin. And a steal by the Blue Jays, and a lay-in on a steal, and that's Al Stewart.
And that's bad timing. That's really the first time tonight that the pressure's gotten to Bradley. It couldn't come at a worse time.
Now the full court pressure comes away with 2 points, and now it's Andrews down low. Little jump hook is no good. Sally down there, offensive rebound and stick back.
I just can't tell you how well he is playing right now. He's just involved in everything, getting loose balls, taking his shots.
17 points for Matt Sally, one off his career high now. There's A.J. Calvin driving. He can't get it. Andrews comes away with the defensive backboard.
I think we were very fortunate there because he had a clear line to the basket, and I guess Andrews bothered him just enough to affect his shot. Watch Bradley down in the corners. I think Drake's going to start trapping him down in the corners.
Ruffin steps inside. He may have walked again. He did. That's the second time he's been called for that turnover in about the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately he went to the hop. He hopped, and then he moved his foot after he made the hop. But it's the right call.
Jim Les doesn't agree. Officials timeout. 3:53 to go here at the Knapp Center. Bradley 74 and Drake 70, and you're watching Bradley University men's basketball. WTVP Channel 47.
Integrated is a proud sponsor of Bradley basketball.
Greetings from the PBS Science Labs, where viewers like you are helping us to select the next great PBS Science series. I hope you enjoyed the first program of our experiment, Wired Science. But in case you missed it, you can watch it anytime at pbs.org. This week's show, Science Investigators. When? Wednesday night. So tune in, log on, and help PBS select the next great science series. Thanks.
In Des Moines, Kurt Pegler, Chad Klein with you. It's Bradley 74 and Drake 70. 3:53 left in this one. This one is shaping up to be a terrific finish.
Yeah, it's really been a well-played game, and Bradley's kind of just hanging on to that lead, but at any moment the momentum can change as Drake has shown with that pressure. You just can't get comfortable. Bradley's starting to do a better job on defense, making tougher shots for Drake. Just need to continue that trend.
The Bulldogs on the short end of one of these games on Thursday night when Southern Illinois was in town and got a three-point play from Matt Shaw with 22 seconds to go. So the Salukis came in here and stole a win. And now Daniel Ruffin's Braves trying to do the same on the road. Our WTVP player of the game is underwritten by G&D Integrated. It's that young man, Matt Sally, the junior college transfer, 7 of 10 from the field, 17 points and 6 rebounds, and he's been a ton for the Braves, especially here in the second half. A.J. Calvin tries the three. It's no good. The ball is knocked out of bounds off of Will Franklin.
Yeah, it's one of those tough plays. He barely draws iron, and we just kind of tipped the ball around. It's just an unfortunate play there. Good hustle, just didn't get the ball. Going back to Sally, you know, the tandem of Andrews and Sally both have played well tonight, and I think that can be a key going into the future for Bradley, is if they can get some minutes together and play well, I think that could help Bradley in the future.
Get a good long look there at Dr. Tom Davis in his 5th year here at Drake, trying to get this Bulldog basketball program headed back in the right direction, and certainly, by all accounts, it looks like it is. Josh Young, a big three. It's a 1-point game. The freshman from Oklahoma knocking down a critical triple for the Bulldogs.
That's where we talked. You just can't let down for a minute against Drake. They just play this up-tempo game, and now you got the crowd involved.
Every possession just gets more critical by the second.
You can just feel the tension building a little bit by little bit as both teams are just picking up their pace that much more.
And Will Franklin nails a three. That is Bradley's 11th three of the night. The Braves are shooting 58% from three-point land on the road tonight. This after shooting 28% from beyond the arch on Thursday in Wichita, Kansas. And now a tough shot by Grant, can't get it. Calvin there, but the ball is off of Calvin and out of bounds to Bradley.
I think we're fortunate there because Calvin got good position, just lost the ball out of bounds.
Here's another look. What a critical three again by Will Franklin.
And just like we can't let down, Drake can't let down either because both teams are just playing very well.
And Zach Andrews was fouled in the backcourt. Let's see who they whistle that foul against. Looks like it's going to be against Nick Grant and not Corver. Both had their hands in there. Grant's second. So the Braves will try again to get the ball in bounds. And Sally flips it up, not a roughing.
A little bit of a scary pass there, but it worked out okay.
Under 2.5 left here at the Knapp Center. And a whistle is going to be against A.J. Calvin. That's going to be a foul against him as he was reaching over the back of Andrews.
There's that good ball movement by Bradley, getting inside, kicking out, kicking it back inside. Just forcing Drake to do things they don't want to do.
It's the second foul against Calvin and the 7th team foul. And Dr. Tom Davis has a 30-second timeout coming his way here. So if you're the Braves right now, Chad, what are you trying to emphasize here? They've got a 4-point lead, the basketball, and 2:21 to go.
I think the biggest thing is to emphasize the defense. I mean, both teams are shooting at a good clip. Drake has cooled off a little bit, but you just can't let down on defense. You got to make things difficult for him. You can't get the easy passes inside. Make every shot difficult.
Well, we mentioned that this is a game of possessions. Drake's full court pressure lends to a lot of possessions in the game. So even with 2:20 to go, there still could easily be 7-8 possessions left in this basketball game.
I totally agree with you. I mean, both teams play such an up-tempo type of game. This game is far from being settled.
So Bradley with a 77-73 lead. If you've just joined us, it's been nip and tuck throughout this basketball game. Both teams really shooting the basketball well. In fact, the game shooting percentages now, Bradley at 61% on 31 of 51 shooting. And Drake at an even 50% at 26 out of 52. Both teams have run the ball up and down the floor very well tonight, and have shot it very well.
Yeah, and if you look at the largest lead of the game has been 7 by Bradley and 5 by Drake. It's just been a very tight game throughout.
So now Zach Andrews to the free throw line. Andrews a 42% foul shooter, so this is a part of his game that he knows needs some work. But boy, when you touch all the rim and you get one to go in, it sure makes it feel good.
It definitely helps. And again, I think it goes to the pressing issue. He's playing better tonight. He has a good feeling about himself, and he feels more confident at the free throw line.
Andrews splits the free throws, and Calvin comes away with the rebound. So it's now a 78-73 5-point Braves advantage as we get close to this 2-minute mark left here in Des Moines. Stewart hangs. Finds Calvin. Nicely done.
Yeah, there's that penetration again. Bradley has got to find a way to stop the penetration from the wings, from the top, because easy dump down to Calvin, and that's how he plays. That's how he really likes to play.
Calvin right at his average now at 17 a game. 17 points tonight, 8 of 13 from the field.
And in the half court, Drake has picked up the pressure.
Sally took a spill under the basket, but gets himself up. He's hobbled a little bit, it looks like.
He's got to be careful here.
It's Will Franklin, a three that's no good, and we got a foul under the basket. It's going to be against Drake. It looks like Corver's going to be whistled for the foul.
Yeah, last minute, 31 of the game, it's getting real physical down there. We saw a lot of whistle blowing at the beginning of the half, but now that the refs have kind of eased off a little bit, it's become a much more physical game again.
It has not been a very good night for Clayton Corver. He's just picked up his third foul, held to just 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting. The Braves have identified him as a guy that they don't want to start shooting 3 balls left and right, and they've done a nice job defending him.
And so far, they've done a good job of that.
And we've got another 30-second timeout here.
If you can keep Clayton Corver out of the game early, it makes them go to a different weapon that may not be as accustomed to scoring. And by keeping him out of the game,
This portion of today's programming on WTVP is made possible in part by the Galesburg area Friends of Channel 46.
Is a huge key for Bradley.
So Bradley's going to come out with the possession here out of the timeout. If you're drawing up a play, if you're Jim Lex, who are you drawing up a play for here?
I think it's one of two players. I think Sally's been very effective inside, so you almost want to go inside to him. And I would look to go inside first, maybe draw a foul. If not, kick it out to Franklin, kick it out to Ruffin for a three-point play. Because I think now with a minute 30, they can't afford to have an easy basket by us or foul opportunities.
Well, back to the free throw line now, Andrews. Sorry on that, they were in the bonus, so the Braves are going to be at the foul line and not have possession out of bounds.
That's my fault, too. I thought the same thing.
Andrews makes that first one, so after making just one of two in that last trip to the free throw line, come back up and knock down that next one and swish it.
And this is huge. I mean, you get a foul on Corver and you add 2 points and make it a 4, hopefully a 5-point lead. That is huge for Bradley, especially with a minute and a half to play.
Big confidence builder for Zach Andrews to make those free throws, because certainly if you're Drake, you're going to try and foul him.
And here's that penetration. We got to find a way to.
Young just kind of chucked the ball up, and the long rebound comes out now to Daniel Ruffin.
Yeah, we're very fortunate there because, again, they got that penetration, and ball comes off, and we get the loose ball.
And now the Braves with a 5-point lead in the basketball. Big possession here. Double team. Ruffin steps between it. Down the lane, floater is no good. Zach Andrews, the offensive rebound.
Just doing a good job, and I'm very happy for Andrews. I know I talked to him before the game, and he's asking for pointers on things that he can do. And I said, Zach, just go out there and have fun, because you're pressing so hard. Everybody knows that you want this. Just go out and have fun.
Well, Andrews is averaging just over 7 rebounds a game, just collected his 9th rebound, probably the biggest one of the night, because it puts him back to the foul line with 54 seconds to go.
If he can knock these free throws down, it gives a huge advantage to Bradley with only 54 seconds with limited possessions remaining.
Does he look like a 42% foul shooter here in the last 2 minutes?
And again, like I said, he's having fun. He doesn't look like he's pressing. He's relaxed at the free throw line. And he's having a nice follow-through.
Well, he's 1 rebound away from his 4th double-double of the season, if he can get it. He's at 12 points and 9 rebounds right now. Bradley with a 6-point lead. Drake with the basketball. Here's Young behind the back. Lost the dribble. Now it's Corver. There's a 3. Back of the iron, no good. It's Drake that comes down with it. And it's going to be a foul against Franklin. From the seat of his pants, he was called for a foul.
Yeah, I think the last 38 seconds we have here in the game, it's going to get really helter-skelter. Drake's going to really crash the boards and do whatever they can to either get cheap baskets or get to the free throw line.
Well, now it's Grant, who's a 72% foul shooter, to the free throw line.
And most importantly, they had the opportunity to cut into that Bradley lead without the clock moving.
Well, Grant has played a very, very solid game tonight for the Bulldogs, but you got to make your foul shots here at the end. He missed the first one.
Yeah, and that's big for Bradley. Drake does get to the free throw line quite a bit, but they really don't shoot them as well as you'd like. If you're Dr. Tom Davis, they shoot in the 65% range, and that's one of the things he likes, the fact that they're getting the line, but they're not taking advantage of all those opportunities that they could.
And so it's Franklin that's now fouled to the front court. He's going to walk over to the free throw line. Now, Will Franklin has once again played a very steady game for Jim Lesch's team. 15 points, knocked down a three-pointer. His first 3 baskets were layups as he was penetrating, and now with a chance at the free throw line to really turn the screws on the Bulldogs.
And if you're Bradley, this is who you want at the line. He's your scorer. You know, he shoots 74% from the line. He's the guy you want there at the end of the game. He and Ruffin both.
The Braves on the verge of winning their first game in Des Moines in 4 seasons. I should say against Drake, because they won earlier this year against Iowa State in Des Moines when they played down the road at the Wells Fargo. This is Bradley's 3rd trip into the Hawkeye State this year. They lost at Northern Iowa. They beat Iowa State in Des Moines, and now got a chance to beat the Bulldogs. And there's a basket by A.J. Calvin as he let it in, and a quick timeout called by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's a little too easy. Gets that penetration again. Calvin trailing, gets an easy layup. But you don't want to foul them. They did the right thing. The only problem is now Drake makes the timeout. Now they can set up their press and look for Bradley to, Coach Les is telling them, if you don't have it, call a timeout. We can reset another play if you get in trouble.
Well, at 28.3 seconds to go, there's really an eternity left in this one, isn't there?
Yeah. The way both of these teams have been playing, I mean, there could be 3, 4, 5 possessions left. Because Drake obviously has to foul being down 5. They can't let time run off the clock, and then as quickly as they're getting it up and down the court.
Andrew Warren is back in the game, so it's Franklin, Warren, J.J. Twy, Daniel Ruffin. It's going to be Matt Sally to trigger from the baseline. And Korver, guarding and trying to get his hands in his face. Ruffin on the inbounds. It's knocked back to the corner, and the jump ball held possession. The possession arrow favors Drake.
That's a good job by Drake, forcing the trap and getting the change of possession.
And now Andrews
Daniel tried to cover up, and that's just a bad place to be if you're on the offensive end.
Zach Andrews has re-entered the game now as Bradley substitutes defense now.
Substitute defense gets a little more size. Obviously, you know Drake's going to crash the board, so we need him in there.
And now it's Chris Bryant to trigger for the Bulldogs, and Zach Andrews comes away with a big steal in the backcourt, and now it's Ruffin fouled. So
great job by Andrews, just hustling the ball, getting position.
It was one turnover after. I think that Zach Andrews just pointed at you. He just heard you say
I think
great
he heard
play.
what I told him. I talked to him before the game. He's pressing. He wants to play well, and he's just having fun out there tonight.
And remember that he picked up his 4th foul. Well, that had to be about 10 minutes left
Early in the half, and he's just played very well with 4 fouls.
Daniel Ruffin now. This is a guy that you want at the free throw line as well if you're the Braves. Get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he shoots at a 78% clip. So, again, he and Franklin are the guys you want to have the ball at this point of the game.
The 7-point lead matches Bradley's largest, and it's going to be a 3 free throws coming now for the freshman Josh Young.
And that's a questionable ball, and Franklin's trying to get in his face, and he's a little upset. He's just got to control his emotions, let him get his 3 free throws. You know, there might have been a little flop there, a little acting there.
That's the 5th foul on Will Franklin. So,
and obviously Franklin's upset about not being in the game. Yeah, Franklin looks like he's in good position. Kind of looks like there's a lot of good acting there by Young that caught the attention of the official.
Well, Will Franklin fouls out again after another very solid effort. 17 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists.
Played very well for Bradley tonight. Just an unfortunate timing of that foul. You really want him to be in there in the last 17 seconds.
Well, Young loves to shoot from way beyond the arc just to get a good look at Will Franklin. So these are like layups for him when he goes to the free throw line.
We talked earlier, it just is not a shot that this guy does not like. I think at half court he'd be comfortable shooting a 3.
All right, Jonathan Cox comes in. He's got some more size. He'll come in, and Korver goes out. And he'll be the guy that certainly guards the inbounds pass on that pressure if Young should make the 3rd free throw. And he makes all 3. He'll lead the game.
And notice how they have the substitution after the free throw so they can set their press.
And again, the Braves did turn the ball over on this play last time. Ruffin got himself into trouble just like there, but it's going to be a foul. This time the reach in by Nick Grant.
Good job by Ruffin covering up there.
What you don't want to do on that play, correct me if I'm wrong, is inbound the ball to the corner. You want to stay away from the corner.
Yeah, you want to try and keep yourself from being boxed in, basically. You don't want the sideline or the baseline to become a defender, in essence. And Ruffin going more to the middle of the floor, you saw there, it's harder for him to tie him up because he has 3 directions to go instead of when he got caught in the corner, he only has 2 directions.
And so Ruffin, who just made a pair of free throws, back at the foul line.
And I can tell you, as a player, with the way Ruffin shoots free throws, you love this point of the game. You want the ball in your hand, and you know you're going to get fouled. And as well as he shoots free throws, this is where you want to be.
Now Daniel Ruffin has played very well in the second half. Here's Josh Young with another deep 3. 12.3 to go, and again, this game is a 1-possession basketball game.
That was a big 3 by Young. I mean, he had to. That was easily a 25-footer.
Well, that young man, there's really nothing, as we've said throughout this telecast, there's no shot that's out of his range.
No, he really has no conscience. Watch it here. He comes off. Warren tries to help, thinks the guy's going to penetrate, just opens him up just for that split second. And as far out as he is, you don't think he's going to take that shot, but he's very comfortable from any range.
He's a good 7 feet beyond the three-point line when he made that shot.
Yeah, that's a big shot. Now Bradley has to be very careful here. Again, we talked about last time, Ruffin coming to the middle of the floor. They're going to really come after us on the press. We got to make sure we either stay out of the corner, or if we catch it in the corner, get it out of there quick. Or call a timeout if we're in trouble. Because we do have 2 timeouts left.
Drake is now out of timeouts after burning that last one, so they have no more timeouts to go. Sally's going to trigger on the inbounds. He gets it into Ruffin. Ruffin covers up and he's fouled. And so back to the foul line goes Daniel Ruffin.
I think we're a little fortunate there. It looks like he had a pretty good grasp on the ball. The officials know they're going to try and foul. I think gave Ruffin the benefit of the doubt.
All right, Ruffin walks back to the free throw line where he's been very comfortable here tonight. In fact, he's a perfect 4 of 4.
And you can hear the fans behind us voicing their displeasure over that call. That's big. Now Ruffin really needs to sink this last free throw to make it a 2-possession game.
10.7 seconds remaining. Again, Drake is out of timeout. And Ruffin for the second of his 2 foul shots. That's good. He gives Bradley a 4-point lead. It's now 88-84. Stewart quickly up the floor. All the way down. The Braves let him lay it in. Again, no timeouts left for the Bulldogs. Adams gets the outlet pass quickly. He's almost tackled in the backcourt. A hard foul that time by Nick Grant. It's not ruled as an intentional breakaway foul, at least as of yet. They've yet to signal that. That's what Bradley's hoping for.
Yeah, Coach Les needs to get a hold of his emotions. We got the foul. We need to make both free throws here. The unfortunate thing here is Adams has really not shot the free throws real well this year. I think he's only shooting like 42% from the line.
He's 5 of 12. That's right, for 42%.
So he really needs to focus here and get these down and make it, again, a 2-possession game with 3 seconds to go.
Well, Nick Grant is walking over to the Drake bench because he is now fouled out of this one. And again, a very solid performance by Nick Grant. We've been impressed with his game tonight. 18 points and 7 rebounds.
Now, we do have a little bit of an advantage here is Drake, like you said, does not have any timeouts. So whether he hits or misses, it's going to be kind of a chaotic play for them to get it up and get a good shot.
Adams makes the first.
And that's a big free throw because the best that Drake can do now is tie him. I'm sure Coach Les is now telling Warren and the rest of the guards, find Young. This kid, he will shoot it from anywhere. Just find Young.
And certainly if you're Bradley, you do not want to foul a half-court shot at this point. Missed it. Got a chance for a tie.
It's okay, step off.
1 second to go. The shot is not off. The shot did not get off, and Bradley has held on to win at the Knapp Center for the first time in 4 years. An 89-86 tough fought victory.
Adams misses the free throw, but he gets back. He makes it difficult, makes the guy take an extra dribble, doesn't even get the shot off.
Bradley hands Drake its 4th consecutive loss. And the Braves get a very tough road win here in Des Moines. It's Bradley 89 and Drake 86. Back to wrap things up in Des Moines in a moment. You're watching Bradley University men's basketball on WTVP, Channel 47.
5 Wildcats. 2 filmmakers. 1 hunger for the chase. Chasing big cats. Next time on Nature.
Expect a masterpiece.
Death is the only solution.
She was a prisoner.
I come here as no traitor.
She was a daughter.
She's her father's daughter, no matter what they say.
She was a queen.
Lady Elizabeth! Some of you still take the view that I must take a husband. It is England I married. This queen shall live and die a virgin.
The Virgin Queen on Masterpiece Theater.
On Nova Science Now, take an elevator ride into orbit.
22,000-mile elevator ride? People are nuts.
Maybe not. Can inventors defy the critics and the forces of gravity? Neil deGrasse Tyson hosts Nova Science Now.
Bradley snaps a 3-game losing streak in the Knapp Center with a hard-fought 89-86 victory over the Drake Bulldogs. Kurt Tegler and Chad Klein back with you. A very difficult place to play for Bradley in the last couple of years, Chad, and really a hard-fought, a much-needed victory for the Braves who snap a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, it's the type of game that's really fun to call, and I've enjoyed it this evening. Both Drake and Bradley were playing well tonight, and Bradley's really fortunate to get out of here, and it just shows in the Valley there's just not an easy win out there.
And a big win for the Braves who finish up this 5-game and 11-day stretch with a road victory at Drake. 89-86 the final. Thanks again for being with us. For our producer, director, Bill Baker, 89-86, a winner for Bradley. You've been watching Bradley University basketball here on WTVP. Good night from Des Moines.